Step off the train all alone at dawn, back into the home where I was born. Sun in the sky never raised the night to me. The blood on the track suddenly must be mine.
Look at Mbappe, he's got it. Three wide going into school.
Mbappe does it. Oh, what a move! What a
Do you know what I mean? All my people right here, right now. Do you know what I mean? All my people right here, right now. Do you know what I mean?
puts himself in the history books. He is, without a doubt, the man of F1XL, but now he's a three-time F1XL champion. He's brilliant.
Be careful what you believe, so open up your fist, no you won't receive the thoughts and the words of every man you'll need.
Good evening and welcome everybody. We are back for the F1XL Extra show where we talk about all F1XL related leagues on Sunday and how it all went down. And my gosh, we have a tantalising F1 side of things this time, even if it is a little bit controversial. However, we have also had the 5 Faces of Hell won last week by Force India's Racing Point's very own Chips and Davey, which means we will be going on to a new game to end the season with. And Taz, quickly, I know you're the guy there. I haven't really introduced you yet to it, but into the stream yet. But you can do that as well as explaining what the game is.
I mean, it's going to be carnage. Gareth have got 10 predetermined things that we have to describe to our teammates, as we're going to call it, because we'll get 2 people on as guests just for this part of the show later on. We have to try and describe them without saying them, and then to try and work it out. I think we're just calling it the F1XL name game, but if you can think of a better name, then put it in the chat. And before I continue, by the way, I've just got to say I have to give a shout out to Pingers' Basement because Gareth won't do it.
Oh, I was going to say, what are we doing about Pingers' Basement? I'm sure Sloppy's going to be moving out of there soon. I'm sure there is a certain Mercedes driver being lined up for that one, but I'm not 100% sure. He's just said
damn.
yes, but I'm thinking that's because you said it, not because you did the shout out, not because.
Yeah, you're damn right. They're all popular for me, you know. It's like, yeah, it's Tazo and Gareth.
Right, so yeah, the list is. Oh my goodness, I've just seen what I have to say, and what you have to say. There are interesting descriptions there. All F1 related. It's going to be an interesting one, to say the least. But before we get to that one, that's going to be in the middle part of the show. We've obviously got 4 leagues to go through, and a bit differently this week, I think, Mr. Tazo, F1 to F4.
Yeah, F4 best league.
I'm sure we had that muted at some point, but
So we're going to do F1 first, where we have the guest of someone, which will be said in a sec. F2 we have Lederp, TES Lederp. F3 we have Mr. Subtitles himself, Captain Chaos. Then F4 we have a new person, which I'm going to introduce when it comes to that point. But F1, Gareth, I think we should start with them, yeah?
Yeah, we'll go with F1.
Okay, Gareth, welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
Always love doing that.
I'm so nervous.
First time on the show, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what to say. I don't know why I went with an accent there, to be honest. Anyway, yes, F1, and what a crazy race we had in F1 as well. I don't think there has been a season like this, to be honest, and a race this season with Ollie as my commentator. We have been busy as commentators commentating this season, and America was no different. Qualifying was a little bit of a surprise outing for us, because we were kind of expecting the likes of Binary, Master Swain and Lightshock just to kind of break away from everyone else, but it wasn't the case. Sinful Chris had a cracker of a qualifying lap, and I think he was just following Lightshock around, and Lightshock just set pole in the dying moments of qualifying, and it did feel like it was like John Cena out of nowhere. Sinful Chris comes along and sets a wonderful lap, absolutely smashing Lightshock. I say absolutely, I think it was 2 tenths in the end, so not massive gap, but definitely a statement of intent there by the Alfa Romeo driver. And the race, a really good race, to be honest. A lot of so much happened. America is full of penalties, and that was always going to cause confusion towards the end of the race. But a safety car came out, and I mean, incorrect decisions from some people, and I mean, I don't want to pick on just Swain at this point, but I've never seen someone so unlucky throughout a season. His lag spikes have cost him, his wheel or pedal has cost him it must have been 5 races, maybe 6 races this season. He would still, I think 44 points behind Binary at the top of the table.
He's dropped miles back now.
That would never happen in a usual season. That amount of bad luck to one person wouldn't usually be the case, but it happened to him again, and in America, and it's a few other things for him. He stayed out on hards, which when a safety car came in and everyone else dropped to softs, and where that has worked for him in other occasions, I think this one, it was definitely not going to work. The tyre difference between the two, it might have worked for him if there was no safety car. It definitely looked like that was going to be the way he would make a few more positions. But at that point, unfortunately, when the safety car came out, it was never to be. There was a massive battle between. I mean, Sinful Chris dropped off quite early, obviously having pole, but dropped off back, and Sloppy was really giving Binary a battle as well. But Lightshock seemed in control, and Prophet Meady was getting himself into the mix as well. And Prophet Meady, I believe, was leading the race outside of points as well, but outside of track position, because Lightshock picked up a 3-second time penalties, and this is what I was saying earlier on. Time penalties are key. At every track, obviously, if you get a penalty, it's key, but it's even more key when it comes down to it on a track like America, especially with the Maggots and Beckett section of the track. And I mean, gutting for Lightshock. It was only 2 weeks ago that he got overtaken by Binary on the 4th to last corner around the outside. Same thing happened to him with Sinful Chris. He seemed in control, Lightshock, at that point. But Sinful Chris, I don't know what he did. He just seemed to have turned it up a little bit, and maybe caught Lightshock just out a little bit with ERS usage and everything, and caught him turns 15 and 16, I think. Just caught him out and was able to get away. And then Binary saw the opportunity to make a nuisance into Light Shock, and well, you'll see on the screen right at the end, that's what happened, and I will leave that at that, because I don't want to cause any arguments or any sort of issues in the chat. I know Light Shock's out there, and I'm sorry, Light Shock, but we'll try and keep it as PC as possible. But there was still plenty of action throughout. I mean, Sloppy at one point looked like he could even get himself into the mix of into a battle for the lead, but I don't know, everyone seemed to be a bit struggling on the soft tyres at the end, other than the top three. I know Prophet Meady, just like, he didn't plummet down the order, but yeah, he just didn't have the stuff about him that it just, when they went back onto that softs, whether he just couldn't heat the tyres up quick enough, we're not sure. I know he said he was a bit frustrated himself at the end. And then Xbox Nuthead managed to nearly be, I think he was millimetres away from being a lap down at one point, ended up, and obviously the safety car helped him, but he Ferrari team owner, pulling his weight a little bit there at the end and claiming a 6th place finish. Obviously not letting his head get down, and that was quite good as well, for him, definitely. And then I believe there was another big incident earlier on in the race as well, which involved the Haas of, not Squidgy, the other one, Sanchez. It begins with S.
Yeah, it will be Sanchez. Dirty Sanchez. Think of him that way.
Dirty Sanchez. No, I don't know why I had to say it like that either. But Sanchez was I think it was Sanchez, Madman, Family Guy, all had a little bit of an issue as well. And it was only a small part of the stream that had it, but just Madman careering off of that hairpin, I think it's turn 10, going onto the back straight. Just this Mercedes ghosting through a few cars, and not the ideal thing for Madman, but yeah, a very eventful and entertaining race. And with 5 more races left to go in F1 this season, we're really expecting the same throughout. We've not had a moment to breathe yet this season, so I can't imagine these guys giving us any in the last 5 races.
Nice. I didn't actually think you were going to stop talking there. I just thought it was going to be next hour of just Gareth going on about how amazing the F1 race was.
To be honest, that's my job, isn't it?
That's also true, yeah. But that's on a Sunday. Tonight we talk about all the leagues. Tonight we dine like kings. No, so I will say this. I think I know for a fact that you will definitely agree with this, but I think it's great to see Chris finally break that duck, because this season we've talked about him time after time saying he will win a race this season. And even last season, I don't think, did he win a race last season?
This is his first ever F1XL win. And I mean, I felt bad because I didn't know that. Usually I'm kind of a stat man when it comes to it, and I thought he had won one before. But no, he hadn't taken a victory in any F1XL event in his career, I suppose. And yeah, a huge congratulations to him on that. It's a long time coming.
I think you can see this season that he has been a different driver. He's been a bit more aggressive, and a lot of the sort of the way he's driving, he looks like he probably should have had more wins than he has. But it's good to see that finally be broken. But now it's a case of he needs to go and push on, I think, for next season, because there's too many average results there that I think he himself will know that he can improve on as well. And if he can, I'm not saying he's going to win the title, but I think he'd be closer to the top. I do think that Mark might agree with me. I don't know if you will, though.
Oh, no. Sorry, I thought you were going to finish. I realised I was kind of... I thought you'd finished a little earlier, so I was going to say something and then you continued. So, but yes, he's definitely... I think he's the first to admit that he hasn't qualified in the right positions and caught himself into traffic early on, which means he wasn't able to be at the top at the start. And he's put a little, not wager, I guess, is he's just put a little bit of a challenge to himself, is to catch Master Swain, which is it's going to be a tough order, but with the luck Swain's having, anything's possible. But it should be a four-way battle for the title. To be honest, there's so many good drivers out there that it could end up being a 6 or 7 way. To be honest, any man's dream. But Simple Chris. Surprisingly, he's not had a second place this season. So to jump 5 third places to a victory finally is going to be good for him.
Yeah, it's good to see that. So, looking forward, we have Canada, the last of the North American triple header. What do you expect to happen this weekend?
Sloppy is an unknown commodity when it comes to this. Obviously, he was doing really well in F2 last season before he untimely crashed into a wall because some car didn't ghost or something. I can't remember really what happened, but I can see there's so many drivers. I mean, if Pred races, he's definitely going to be one to watch. He's an incredibly quick driver. This, I think I said at the start of the season, and we might have agreed, this would have been this is Pred's season, but because he hasn't been here for well over half the season, it's just not been the case for him. But to still pick up 74 points, Pred is definitely one to watch. But I'm going to say watch that McLaren. I think I say expert opinion. My opinion is that McLaren's going to be one to watch.
Okay. So I'm just looking through the chat. Norris saying, don't want to watch you bottling it. Madman has said, say Madman will get points or we riot. I mean, if Madman gets points this weekend, Gareth will drink a beer next week.
These guys won't believe me if I've said that it will be 3 weeks without a beer or alcohol on Sunday, on Saturday. So,
this is why his voice sounds a little bit shaky.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, I hope Madman does well. Obviously, he's had a little bit of an unlucky season in some degrees, and deserves more than the 7 points he has this season. And
yes, I agree. 10.
Only 3 weeks, Roland. You know me. It's usually 3 days is probably the most that I used to handle. But anyway, enough about me and alcohol. And F1 next week. I'll do a quick prediction, I guess. I'm probably going to change it on Sunday when qualifying's happened. But I'm going to go sloppy for the win.
Okay. I am going to also go for someone who might not necessarily be always there. Meaty, I think. But this is the kind of track where he could thrive on. I'm looking at some of the tracks he's done well at, and I feel like this could be one that he could do really well at as well.
I think what Meady's done really well, he's been able to capitalise on other people's mistakes, obviously when he hasn't had his own. But,
yeah.
I mean, you look back at Baku, the first race of the season, and my God, that kind of feels like last week, but it also feels like last year. He was just there to capitalise on other people's mistakes, and it's a shame that he's had his own, because he could very well be up there in the title as well.
Yeah, he's had a lot of good finishes, but far too many DNFs on that board to really be really have a chance of being in the title fight, unfortunately, because he's had how many? 1, 2, 3, 4,
60
DNFs, yeah, from 18 races. So to not finish in pretty much a third of them. That's yeah. You can't win a title in 14 races unless everybody else is dreadful.
Unless your name's Jolly on F1 2019.
Oh Jesus!
Okay, there's our two predictions. I don't really have any final words to say because my final words will come at the end of the show. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, Gareth.
All right, I'll catch you guys later. Should really
Okay,
get
I suppose
the
about.
Pink Panther music, shouldn't we? No,
I mean, yeah, technically, because you are Mr. Whatever they want to call him,
Racing Point.
Alpha Tauri, yeah, Racing Point. I'm just gonna go through all the random names that isn't correct. Sauber,
Tracing Point,
Biker, Alfa Romeo. Yeah.
Force India.
While we're doing that, I'm going to invite the F2 guest, and then I'm going to go get my Chinese because it's down the stairs waiting on me.
Oh, Chinese. And on the subject of
Yes.
getting our F2 guest in, don't forget on Saturday we will be having, there is the SFR race, which is commentated on by Lightshock, and it will be starting at 2000 hours. And then, if you did not know, if you do have Amazon Prime, obviously Prime is big at the moment because of Christmas. You do get a free subscription to use on Twitch. If you could kindly think of us, that means we can continue doing the wonderful prizes that we do. Obviously helps out massively and hopefully grows the stream and grows the league in the ways we want to. Now, waiting on F2 and the F2 guest. It's Great Britain for SFR. Thank you very much, Lightshock. It's always good. I mean, I was there at Silverstone myself on Friday, just gone for the Christmas lights. My tyres on my Ford Focus touched Maggots and Beckett's curbs at 5 miles an hour. But yeah, they still touch them. I'm happy with that. When the tyres come off my car, I might just keep them and frame the tyre. No, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, F2, sorry. This week we've got TES Leclerc, who's had a very mixed bag of a season in F2 this season in the Red Bull. Welcome to Extra for the first time in a long time, Jamie.
It has been a while, hasn't it? And to say mixed bag is probably understatement of the season. Started off so well, and then reality came into play. But yeah.
I was going to say, did reality hit you in France, and then you think, oh no, I can do it in Abu Dhabi, and then it just kind of just went.
Yeah. The less we say about France, the better. Because that was a very embarrassing move.
I'm sure there was some frogs involved at some point. Anyway, let's talk about qualifying for America and how it went for you, and we'll go from there.
Not great, to be fair. Like, first run, just put in a banker. And I don't know what it is with me with this season. I just can't seem to qualify. So I'm always quite low down on the field. I think I ended up qualifying 14th, I think. No, I was 8th, maybe 8th. I think it was 8th. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a look where I qualified, because that would just be easier.
Fair enough. I will just quickly thank Beastie and Madman for their Prime subs for 8 months for Beastie, and is that 7 months for you, Madman, or just a Prime sub? It doesn't say. But thank you very much nonetheless, and we'll continue without me blocking off Jamie.
Oh, that's right. Do what you want. Sure, show. But yeah, qualifying it's always been an iffy one for me. It just, I don't know, awful most of the season, and thankfully my race pace seems to be then my qualifying pace. So yeah, I qualified 8th at the weekend, so it's probably my best qualifying in quite a while, I'd say. My best qualifying was round 1. And then it's just gone downhill from there. But yeah, qualified 8th, which wasn't great, but it wasn't awful. Mid-pack, I think we had 18 drivers, so pretty much bang smack in the middle, and managed to start, so you can't really complain at that.
Fair enough. Moving off into the race, then obviously it's been a very dominant season in respects for Madman and not Madman, Map 45 and Roll Hard Lad. With everyone else, at least over 100 points is the next challenger is BXTN. Obviously, with that in mind, did you think that those two would run away with it here in America? And how was the race in general?
I wasn't expecting them to run away with it as much as they are, but they've done a hell of a job to be able to accomplish what they have done this season. I don't know what it is about Matt, but he's just found so much pace between the games as well. I think him going to no traction control certainly helped him. Yeah, he's had a fantastic season. If anyone deserves to win the championship, I think it'd be him. He always comes into the weekend thinking, oh, I'm not very quick here, and then always ends up pulling out a podium, so I think that's just a roll hard thing to do, but he's had a very good season as well. As for the race though, it was a decent race. I think it had, so it started off dry. The softs go forever. They seem to anyway. So pretty much the majority the guys in the top 10 all went. And then it was going to rain towards the end of the race. So there was a few of us in qualifying thinking, oh, what setup do we go? Do we carry on going with the one we were going to, or do we go lower and then edit it? But I think the majority went for the increased top speed, which is obviously what you want at Kota. But it started raining around lap 18, I think, 18 or 19, and we didn't come into the pits for Inters until about lap 24, so it took a while for it to actually set on the track and make it for very tricky conditions. Matt won by about 4.5 seconds to Phantom, who hasn't had the best of luck this season, I think it's fair to say. It's obviously P3, so he's minimising the points that Matt's getting to keep that champion. I'm not too sure what the points are in terms of championship. I know about 20 points between Rollhard and Matt.
It's 34 at the moment. It's 307 for Matt and 273 for Rollhard. Just so you, there you go. That's the rundown on that.
Yeah. Obviously, there's still 4, and I know the next track Matt doesn't like, but Rollhard does. It's Canada, right?
Yes.
This week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what them two can do. Have we got Australia? No, we've had Australia already, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Matt's Matt has said, like when we get to these sort of tracks, it's just going to be the points Roll Hard is going to get for the championship, which is the right thing to do. So ultimately, Matt's thinking about the long game. Like if I say Roll Hard wins, and Matt at best can get a P4 in the likes of Canada and Australia and stuff like that, then Matt's doing enough, I feel. Because the other tracks he does like, it's hard to pick a winner between them because anything can happen. But for Formula 2, this has probably been, I wouldn't say the best season, but it's been a good season because I think it was last year Formula 2 was extremely close to the final race of the season for Pickled last year, wasn't it? So yeah, but it's Matt's to lose. If he doesn't win, then it's going to sound really blunt, but he's only got himself to blame.
I mean, that's true. That's very true on that front. Do you think? A quick question on this, actually. Obviously, Canada was the promptu end of the end of the season race last year in F2, which Roll Hard won. Now, do you think that could play into mind games for those guys there? But obviously, for Matt 45, he knows how quick Roll Hard is here. Or do you think it might not work that way?
I'm honestly not too sure because this game is a lot different compared to 2019. For me, so on the last game, but I think it'll be playing in the back of Matt's mind that I keep calling him Aaron. Roll Hard does really enjoy Canada and Matt doesn't. So it'll be playing in his mind, and I think he's just gonna do. I think Matt's just gonna do what he minimise the damage that Roll Hard could cause in the race results. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen. It could. None of them could win. But Sky could turn up. When I turning up, but the Sky we know could turn up, just demolish everyone. Thing with F2 as well, like Alpha Tauri, he's come on really strongly. You guy, he looks good. He finished 6th at the weekend on his first race in XL. So, and obviously the return of Pepsi as well is one to look out for. But yeah, to pick an outright winner, I think it will be playing in Matt's mind. I think to shut those niggles out.
Yeah, I think Matt 45 will definitely be thinking what he can do to minimise point loss this weekend. No, I'm still waiting for Taz to come back from his Chinese collecting or eating or whatever he's doing. But Jamie, have you got any final words for the guys out there? Thank you. A, thank you very much for coming on to the show. Much appreciated. And B, have you got any final words for the guys out there before you leave?
No, it's and for F2, or even if you want to bring Real Grid back, I've still got loads of questions, by the way.
Well,
I'm always available, and any words from the guys out there? Just keep doing what you're doing, basically. It's been some not such a great season for others. Keep it clean. The starts have definitely got for F2 anyway. I've noticed. So yeah, if you keep it clean, we should be on for a good end to the season.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for coming on to the show, Jamie, and we'll catch you soon. And good luck for Sunday's race at Canada.
Thank you very much. Have a good rest of the show, guys.
Cheers. Well, as we wait for Mr. Tazo to get back to do the new mini game we've got in the middle of the show, I will just quickly, cast your eye on obviously a few things. Obviously, with the F1 season finally over, it's the latest it's ever finished properly. Not Grill the Grid. GP Gaffer has obviously finished. Pickled will be doing the best he can to get all the spreadsheets and everything back up and running and sorted for the new season. It's just a little bit of a heads up and a little bit of a forewarning that I'm sure GP Gaffer will be wanting all of us back to the new season in 2021. Now, Mr. Tazo, I believe, is back.
Yep. Yeah, I'm here.
A mouthful of Chinese at the same time.
I've got right. So just to make sure that the stream's fully aware, so I've got egg fried rice, got plum duck on one side and chicken teriyaki on the other, with a nice little box of dumplings as well. So living the good life, lads. Yeah, it's time for the minigame, isn't it? Jesus, it's that time already. By the way, Gareth, may I add, we are on point for like the first time in God knows how long.
Nearly. I mean, this is going to go
20...
over.
Well, no, but that's not including this time, which we knew would take a little bit of time. But after 2 leagues, we're at 22. We normally hit 20 minutes a league. We've done well.
Yeah, true.
Just saying.
True.
First time for everything.
Aaron's saying that no one's asked about your Chinese, but I'm sure
Aaron's
you don't care.
just jealous because of the fact that he doesn't have a Chinese. That's all. Anyway, right, I suppose it's time. So, what we call this again? The F1XL word game, I think is what we're calling it.
Yes.
So, just a quick reminder before we do start this. Basically, me and Gareth have both got a list of 10 different things. We have to try and describe them to the contestants who will be on the show in a second. They have to try and guess what it is. Whoever gets more will win this week. They all go into leaderboard, and then last show of the season we'll probably get the top 2 or the top 4 on and have a sort of it's a knockout finale kind of thing. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And we're going with you first.
Yeah, I'll give an example just to try and sort of help any understanding or confusion that there might be there. So Gareth, if I was to say to you, let me think. 1990 driver, moustache.
Mansell.
There you go, just like that. But we're not allowed to say. So some of the words are a single word. Some of them are like multiple words. You're not allowed to say anything that is in the clue, and if you do, then it's an automatic strike off. You don't get that point. Okay, so the pressure's on me and you just as much as it is on these two.
Yes. And should we say?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go first and you introduce your guest,
Yes.
and I'll go
Yes.
go second. We can't both go first. What am I talking about? I'll go second and introduce mine. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. So my guest for tonight is what can only be described as a dick. There's another way to put it. Chips and Davy, welcome back.
Hi. I can't get rid of you just now, Tazo, honestly.
I know. You tried to escape, you know. You try to get out, but we pull you back in. Okay, so the one thing I didn't mention that I forgot to say is we have 60 seconds to do this. So do you feel confident?
No.
No, thank God. Neither do I.
Oh, that's a great combination. Now, let's go.
We can do this. We can absolutely do this. Yeah?
We've got it. Yep.
Right. Gareth, are you ready with the stopwatch?
Tazo, you will go on my first whistle.
Oh, legend of television right there.
Oh yeah.
Roland
What
won't have a
dude?
clue what we're on about though. He's like, what are these people on about? I don't have a clue. Come on, Gareth. I'm pumped up and ready at this precise second. If you don't think
TikTok.
ready.
Pardon the pun.
Hey.
Ba-dum-tsh.
And I will be honest, there's a variety of things on these lists as well, so it's not all just going to be like, like racing
Like
drivers.
drivers and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be different things on here, so
Yeah.
Separately. Sorry. I'm so glad they didn't actually hear that. I muted the other mic because that would have been so awkward.
I mean, we're not even into the watershed yet.
Right. What is it? Okay.
It's under clock, and then stopwatch, or timer, whatever you want on your phone.
You got 60 seconds, yeah?
Yep. Just tell us when to go.
Go.
Okay, German driver raced for Sauber alongside Robert Kubica.
Hulkenberg.
Nope.
Any other teams?
We'll come back. We'll come back. Monza. It's got 2 corners with the same name.
Lesmos.
Which one?
1.
Okay. The only Dutch F1 team raced in orange. Right at the back of the grid.
Spiker.
Yep. The Ferrari team boss, ex-Ferrari team boss. He's now the boss of the FIA.
Ross Brawn.
Nope. Other one. Smaller one.
What's his name? What's his name? Pass.
Okay. You go down the straight and use it to overtake.
DRS.
Yep. Italian driver raced with Alonso in Renault.
Giancarlo Fisichella.
Yep. In night race, it
Beep,
used to be
beep,
sort of a
beep,
triple
beep,
chicane.
beep, beep.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
Singapore. Am I getting that one?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
I need a better alarm than just me going beep beep.
Yeah, I'll show you a proper alarm, but
That was tense.
that is so pressurising when you're sitting reading through them trying to think of things. Davey, I think we got 4.
Not bad. It's not bad.
No, 3.
Oh,
No, 4.
wow.
4. I was right. Yeah, Lesmo 1, Spiker, DRS, and Giancarlo Fisichella.
Yeah.
The German driver
So
Nick
close.
Heidfeld.
He fell.
It's
And
the
the
initials
short-
are the same. NH.
They are. Yeah. And the short Ferrari team boss, Jean Todt.
Yes, John Todd. Oh my god. That is embarrassing.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that's fun. The other one that I was trying to say, sort of, you said Singapore. What my clue was, the old triple bit. It was called the Singapore Sling.
Oh, the sling, yeah.
Yep. But okay, Gareth, now you know what you have to try and do.
Oh, this is
good
going to be
luck.
terrible. I have a special Dutchman in with me. F1XL Roland is going to be my guinea pig for this one, and I feel so sorry for him for this. Roland, welcome to Extra. Are you ready for this? Are you ready?
I think so.
Taz, have you got
hope
this?
so.
Have you got the watch, or do you want me to do the watch as well as?
I've got it ready. Don't you worry.
Okay, cool.
Right, your time will start now.
Straight at Silver. No, I can't do that one. 96 world champion.
What, 6 world champion?
96 world champion.
Oh, Damon Hill.
Was meant to be on the circuit list this year, but didn't.
On circuit list, but didn't. What, on track?
On
or-
track, yeah, track.
There are so many, mate. Australia.
It's new. It's a new track. It was meant to be on this season.
Oh, Zandvoort.
No. No.
Vietnam.
Yeah. Was the team before Renault?
Benetton.
The other one. The second return of Renault.
Oh, Lotus.
Okay. Could have replaced Hamilton, but didn't. He's reserve driver.
Stoffel van Doorn.
Old Renault team owner.
Dus Briatore.
Used to be the safety. Oh. I was just looking at the list going, I need to do the easy ones.
I'm just going to say, that is the worst clue I've ever heard. Oh, it was meant to be on the calendar, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean there
like
are
10
how many tracks on the calendar that didn't race car. If you said a European track that was coming back for the first time but didn't got on, and it would be Zandvoort. I say Asian track, and then it would be Vietnam.
I thought I'd said new track. I clearly didn't, but I thought I'd said new track that was meant to be on the calendar. I fucked up.
And the first
But
one,
then
oh,
again,
yeah,
it should be
straight.
Zandvoort or yeah, what's Zandvoort new? Yeah, that's so.
And then,
So, yeah, on you go.
and then I obviously the first one was meant to be Wellington Straight, and I was meant to say Silverstone, and I just said Straight. Oh, for God's sake. Anyway, yeah. I think, what did we get? Lotus.
Well, the good news is, you managed to get 5.
How? Well done, Roland.
Thank you. I knew the questions. I was just waiting for you to say them. Knew the answer. Almost knew all the answers. So.
Yeah. I think the ones
that's
that we
fine.
haven't got this week, Gareth, I'm just going to roll over to next week, if you don't mean, the ones that we haven't,
Yeah.
reached yet.
Yeah.
And then that way we were not having to panic every week. But that's, do you know what? That actually was much more fun than I thought it would be. So.
More stressful. More stressful. I don't know
Yeah,
about those
definitely.
guys, but I was
Yeah,
just there going,
I think definitely for next week we will get the a stop clock or something like that. If we're doing one next week, actually, because it'll be, yeah. We'll discuss that later. But yeah, I think we're time to move on to F3. But before we do, I think we thank both Roland and Chips and Dickhead.
Wow.
And you never know. So I said to you at the start that we would add this to leaderboard, and I am going to do that. You never know. Both of you might come back at the end of the season to try and do better.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, thank you very much, both of you, for coming on, and hopefully we'll get you back
No
on again
worries.
soon, guys.
Yeah, no worries, guys. See you later.
All right.
Right,
in a
cheers.
bit.
Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you very much, both. And if Roland manages to get on at the end of the season with me, help doing that, well, fair play to him. Wow.
So week 1 goes to you, but by an absolute fluke.
Yeah, I was going to say that's definitely more by luck than judgment. I was a blabbering buffoon. I think that's what I think that everyone loved it more because I messed up so horrendously than the game itself. But I think there is interest in the game, and I think they'll want to be on your side more than my side of the garage for this one. But yeah, very very fun nonetheless. I enjoyed that. I with Davey, I Chips and Davey. I keep wanting to say Chips and Davis just because it's just an S missing off Davey. Obviously, Davis is my surname, so it's just like oh no wait. So we're gonna go over to F3, and Taz, I'm gonna let you have this one. I think that's the only fair thing to do in this situation. Give me a couple of minutes as well. I will be back. I'm just gonna go grab a drink.
That's fine. I'll try and interview while eating my Chinese. That's all good. So unfortunately, because Gareth has gone away, we are unable to supply any sort of subtitles for F1XL Chaos. So what he said was blah 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 blah. Oh, John, it's been far too long. How are you?
Oh. Getting there.
Good. Obviously, we know you haven't really been racing too much recently, and we know
That
you've not
is
been in
true.
the best of health either, so we are all wishing you the best. But in terms of the races, obviously you hosted on Sunday.
Yep.
As part of sort of an agreement to come into here, I think. Is that pretty fair to say?
Say that again?
I'm saying you pretty much agreed to host so you could come onto Extra, wasn't it? Yes.
Yes. I'll go with that.
So how was the race on Sunday? Was it an entertaining one or was it a pretty boring one to watch?
Overall, I would say boring. There were
Not one
a
of
few
the finest
excitements. No, it was just what I thought was going to happen. Cars spread out a wee bit, and there you go. People got stuck behind cars, couldn't overtake them, so they just sat behind them.
Okay.
Well, I have to say, it was a good battle at the for first place. Carbon did give Ash a good running. Just a shame, as I was watching most of the time their battle, that Carbon couldn't connect with Sector 1. Come up to the DRS, he was losing with a bit too much time. So when he got the DRS, he was not close enough to overtake.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
Okay.
a bit of a shame. But I would say Ash did fought the whole way through. Just had
So
that
that was
extra
Ash
edge.
and Alpaca Carbon, yeah?
Yeah. Carbon
Nice.
did push him, but Ash just had the upper hand. That race.
And obviously, Alpaca's one of the sort of the newbies in the league. Are you surprised that he sort of come in and hit the ground running as well as he has?
Yeah, I have to say, Carbon, I've been watching a couple clips past races, and he's definitely put a pressure on Troll and Ash. 'Cause usually you see them two just skirting off, but with Carbon in, he's shaking up the tables. In a way.
Yeah. And obviously, it's always good to have that little bit extra battle up the top end of the grid in any league. It doesn't matter what one you're in.
I will have to say it'll be a good final 4 races left, with especially with Carbon in it. The Troll's only, what, 22, 23, 24 points behind Ash.
Mhm.
But now Carbon in the mix, Troll will have to really to step up his game if he wants the title.
So do you think it's obviously there's 4 races left? Do you think realistically it is now a 2-horse race with the fact that Ben's had a couple of he's had 4 or 5 off races?
I have to say there's just the whole Troll and Ash for the title.
Okay. Do you know? I think yeah. Looking at it, you've got to be honest. I think you need a disaster to happen to Ash for Ben to realistically come back into it. But this is XL. You never know what can happen in this league, can you?
You don't really what could happen. That is true, but at the same time, with Ash's pace, Troll's pace, especially now with Carbon in it, it's going away from Ben. Sorry, but you know, I just call it how it is.
To be fair, at this point of the season, if Ben wins it, then he deserves it. That's all you can really say about it.
Oh yeah, Ben wins. Flip me, I have to fly over to Ash and strangle his neck.
So out of those two, who's impressed you more this season?
Out of Ash or Ben?
Ash or Troll? Sorry.
Oh, Ash.
Yeah. How come?
I have to say, you know, I raced with him in F4, and then he was in F3, and he's showing his pace on this game. I would say if he was in F2, he'll be definitely shaking some stairs up there. I'd say Ash's improvement is great. He knows what he's doing on the track. He just holds his car. He deals with pressure. So, yeah. He makes the right calls at the right times. I would have to say Ash.
I'm just going to go to the chat here for a second, but so Ash has thanked you for that, and then Trolled laughed, and then just put no hesitation.
No hesitation at all.
No hesitation when you said it. So do you think, obviously you touched on F2 next season, do you think those two, and probably Ben as well, do you think they can go up there and be at least sort of midfield competitive, or do you think it could be a bit of a struggle sort of making a step up between F3 and F2?
Out of them three, I would say Ben may struggle the most.
Mm-hmm.
Troll, I would say he'll definitely. Ash, I say he'll be definitely favored for the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see when you put Ash under pressure, he just performs better.
Troll!
So I could say he'll be a lot better out of them three in F2. Ben may struggle a bit more, but I would say probably later on he will perform. So I know he usually does struggles at the start of the season.
And obviously yourself, are you going to be back?
I'll be back next season. So I'll be back this weekend because it's Canada. So I just love Canada too much, but more likely I'll probably hit the World Champions at Wall.
I think it's going to claim a few victims this weekend. To be fair, I think it's such a tough track as well. If you're that
it is
slight millimeter out.
Yeah, especially the World Champions because you just take that turn quite hard, and especially if you have someone behind you or you just put in the pedal a bit too much and you just there you go, and still you go. You have to be with your turning. You just have to be on it. If you're off, yeah, you're hitting that wall.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to make a controversial statement here, and I know people will probably disagree with me, but I genuinely believe that Canada is debatably harder than Monaco, because I feel like
just
with
have
Monaco...
to say something here.
Go on in.
Shut up. You finished P10
Oh yeah, I did notice that. Yeah, I feel like with Monaco, you're sort of aware that you might hit the wall, or I mean, you're almost driving to avoid the wall. So with Canada, you've still got that thing where you're that slight millimeter out a couple of corners and you're straight in the wall. You don't really
Trolled!
because it's such a wide track. You're sort of just driving normal, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have to actually agree with you there. Yeah, it's just certain corners where you have to be more precise, especially going into turn. What do I want to say? Turn 3 and 4. You were slightly off there.
Roland saying it's 1,000 times easier. Roland, it's because you're shit at Monaco, that's why. Sorry, I had to get that in. Okay, we're back racing this weekend. How do you think you're going to do, first of all? Do you think you'll finish?
I should finish with Canada. Like I said, I know Canada quite well, and as long as I can keep the car out of the World Champions, I should finish.
Okay, and if you were to make a prediction on the winner, who do you think you'd go for?
Ooh. I have to go for my man Ash.
Okay. I mean, I think probably the smart money's on Ash, but I'm pretty sure I remember Troll did pretty well there last season as well, as far as I can remember. So it's going to be close, I think, between those two, definitely.
I would say they two will have probably, like I say, with Carbon in the mix, you don't know. He's done the card in that mix.
Yeah. Okay. Gareth, are you back?
I am indeed.
You want to ask our esteemed guests some questions?
I think you covered most of it. However, I will just quickly ask about not Mercedes, because you're not Mercedes. Renault. How's things at Renault? You're still above. Obviously, you're still above Haas and Mercedes, but
Well, I'll be keeping that way. I don't want to do the singing contest, what Madman's going to do at the end of the season.
I think we need to make sure that's on extra as well.
Yes.
Not just
yeah.
Oh, see, Madman doesn't know what song he's singing yet. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that
we
sounds
don't know.
ominous in itself right there.
Oh yes, it will be. Trust me, it'll be the cheesiest song you could think of.
I love the fact that you just sound like a rejected voice of the Budweiser advert. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what your choice is going to be for song, to be fair.
Oh, you are madman. Sorry, but you are.
Right, Gary, sorry, I interjected.
No, that's good. Chaos pretty much he answered the question by saying he's not finishing last, basically. So yeah, that's about it for me until later on.
Well, I've two good, strong F4 drivers getting me solid points, and also and good, solid F1 drivers as well. So I'm not that worried.
That's fair. Okay, so I think that's us pretty much done. However, there, I'll be honest with you, there's another reason why I wanted to get you an extra tonight. So I mentioned it sort of earlier on. We know you've not been in the best sort of health. We know you've sort of been diagnosed with a form of cancer, so it's not good to hear at all. So I'll be honest, I spoke to some of the guys around the site, and we've had a small collection for you, just to sort of give to you to buy yourself something nice. I'll discuss it afterwards, but I think we were talking about potentially getting you something like a gaming chair or something, to help with your comfort.
Oh, right.
The small collection, it's probably going to end up being, and I'm going to say this total because of the fact I think everybody deserves a shout out who's donated and who's still going to donate, because I know people are talking about it. You're talking about 300 quid.
Fuck.
I've never heard Chaos. Not that is speechless in Chaos's terms, I think.
Oh. Fuck. Jeez. Fuck me.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you to all, and that is a pure shock. I even Tazza can tell you I don't expect nothing at all. I do what I do, and that just made my day. Thank you guys. Love to everyone who donated. Thank you very much.
No, honestly, I speak for both me and Gareth and everyone in the site when I say, you know, you deserve that, and it's not the best situation. We understand that, but yeah, we all care, and I think it kind of shows as well. And it's the good thing about this community, I think, more than anything, is the fact that everyone's pulled together just for you for that, and I'm so proud of everyone that's done so.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That's a pure shock to me. And Roland,
Gareth,
I'm going to kill you because I knew you knew about it.
I'm just so proud that we got you, because that's been going on for about a week, and I was really worried for a moment that like you might find out. So,
oh no, that was a well kept secret. Because I'll tell you guys now, if I did find out, I'll tell you where to shove it.
Well, it's too late for that now. So,
Yeah, like I said, if I knew about it, I would tell you where to shove it, because that's just
great. I'm glad.
I don't know what else to say. I'm telling you, it's very, very rare I get this speechless. I always have something to say.
Listen, the love's all through the chat. You can see it for yourself. But
yes.
I'll let you go just now. But after this, me and you will sit and we'll catch up, and we'll work out exactly how we're gonna sort this out. But yeah, we want to make sure that we get you something perfect. So, honestly, it's the reason why we tried to get you an extra in the first place. I'm not gonna lie. I just had to sort of hide it by getting you to commentate.
Yeah. I seen your message saying you're being nice. I went, yeah, okay, there's something up here.
Honestly, thank you very much for coming on though, and I'll speak to you shortly, okay?
No worries, thank you guys, bye.
Right, cheers.
Thanks, Chaos. Just to reiterate, while Chaos Still.
Oh, I was gonna say one thing. Tazo, you have to change your gamer tag to Mr. Daddy Tazo.
I've been like this for so long, I can't change it now. You know that.
I know.
Oh, just petition it to happen. But yeah, obviously, with Chaos, just to reiterate, he's affected all of us. I think in the site. He's. I didn't want to say touch because it's going to make him sound like Gary Glitter, but yeah, he's done so much for us, and I think really it's the least we could do. I wish there was more we could do, but yeah, it's go for Chaos. Woo! Let's move on. Let's get F4 in and do this sorted. I'm not really. I think Taz, if we split F4, sounds like a spit roast. I know, but it's not meant to be like that at all. But
yeah, that is true. But I'll introduce our guest first, and then I'm going to let you start, if that's okay. So tonight's guest is another debutant. We love a good debutant on Extra, and tonight's no different. So the winner from Sunday's F4 US Grand Prix, Frosted666.
Hello everyone, thank you very much for having me in, and thank you for moving everything around to accommodate me.
Anytime, more than happy. Gareth, the floor is yours.
Hello, Frosted. You've got a picture of a very evil snowman as your gamer tag.
Yes, there is a story behind that as well.
Ooh, I'm sure we'll get to listen to it a bit later on as well. But we'll do the F1XL related stuff first. Obviously, rookie to the league. Started off a little bit skew whiff, I think is the best way to describe it. But talk us through it.
Nice way.
Because you've been a bit here and there.
Yeah, I have been a bit here and there. I've been racing games since the likes of, Nigel Mansell's Formula 1 game on the SNES. Yes, that shows a little bit of my age, but I was young at the time. But yeah, I was a bit shocked coming into the system. It really kind of struggled at the start. Doing alright at Hungary, it's fun. And there was the next track, which was the Vietnam. Crashed out on that one. Sorry, Tazo. And yeah, it's just been an up and down roller coaster. But through perseverance, I managed to come on through, get the podium last week, and now a winner this week.
So, were you confident coming into this race? Is America a favoured track of yours, or is this just you've just kind of found your rhythm?
No, it's really not a favourite track of me. I've always struggled to try to keep in the rhythm round there. Just 'cause that one little section after turn 12, where down the back straight, you just kind of throws you out, and then you kind of go another straight, and then it's different kind of rhythm needed. So it's in and out of. For me, struggled through practice. We could get a good lap in, and then I'd struggle for the next few laps, and then again have a good lap in. So it was tough. It was a rocky start, and I didn't expect to be where I finished at all. Yeah.
Now you have to forgive me. I haven't seen anything from F4 at all. Was it closely fought throughout? Because there's some. Obviously, you're an unusual name to be at the top, if you don't mind me saying. But there's some unusual bigger names like F1XL Nick and Greeners who finished outside of the points. Even goals didn't finish at all. I mean, was it always tightly fought throughout the race?
For the first half of it, yes. And the second half, I was just trying very hard to keep the gap steady and keep out of my penalty time penalty I had, so that I could keep the win. So yeah, there was a lot of sweating going on in the first half, and then I was sweating at the end, trying to keep the pace up. I could see people coming through the field. Scrubs was coming through it like fast and hard, and everyone was close racing behind. And, Dave did keep me honest throughout and really kept me on my toes. But yeah, we both rocketed away in the first half, me and Dave. Then we didn't have anyone else to challenge us in the second half.
What was your, like, obviously you haven't had the full F1XL experience yet because you're in the Haas team, you're not in the, like, we've got teams set up, obviously trying to follow as closely in a sense to being in a team as possible. But how much practice do you put in, I guess, and do you try different strategies for it?
Well, firstly, when it comes to practice, I have to say thank you very much to Racing Point. I did not say Force India, so it's 1 point for me, winning, to allow me to join in on a practice session on Sunday prior to the race. It has always been a real big help, so thank you very much to Chips and Davey, Slow Dog, and Gunhead for letting me in to that. So that has helped massively. Those guys, have helped me somewhat, and I do put as much practice as I can during the week. But yeah, I've literally just got back from work and then straight into here. So just during the week, it's kind of hard to get practice in. So it is a frantic time on the weekend to use the free time. So yeah, try to practice as much as I can to get up there and pay off a little bit.
How are you finding, obviously, just presets at all? Do you dabble into going into making your own setups, or is it just a very standard thing?
Very, very much so. I am the one who tunes. I have always been the one who fiddles and fettles with the setup to get it to suit their driving style instead of adapting. So I've had to adapt my own driving style, which is probably why I struggled a lot at the start. With lots of understeer kind of feeling for myself. I'm always kind of one who likes the front to be pokey. So it was always a bit hard to kind of adapt. So yeah, that is quite different. I'm not used to not being able to tune and do things I want to do, so very limited to what I could do. But work my way around it and get in there.
Yeah, obviously, you can change some things about it. It's all Parc Ferme kind of style, so you can adjust wings slightly within the race. But
yeah, you can. Yeah, in the race, the front wing and your diff and your brake bias. And that's really about it.
How are you gonna obviously take Canada? You've only got 4 races left to go. Are you just going to keep on trying? Just prove the best you can, and then hopefully you stick around for next season, and then try and get a team that way.
Yeah, I want to try and prove myself. I want to make a nuisance of myself. And upset the boys up top. And I'm sure they're going to love me in Canada, considering Canada is a track that is a bit more preferred for me. So I'm hoping to do a bit better. But then again, my qualifying performances haven't been at all great, been a bit inconsistent. So yeah, hopefully I can battle with the top 3 again.
And what's your your overall, I suppose, plan for the remainder of the season with those 4 races?
To work on my consistency, to get up there and to work for a drive, because I really do, enjoying this league, enjoying the community and everyone and how they all get together and the fun we have. And, that I do want to be around in 2021, and I do want to have a drive, and I do want to be battling.
I'm sure if you, as well, the people who tend to, this is going to sound wrong, but I don't mean it this way. The people who put themselves out and come onto the show, like the extra show, and are well known within the Racing Point team. Obviously, I'm in the main chat, and there was someone trying to get you a drive for a full-time drive as such. But the way that you're doing at the moment, I think next season you're definitely going to catch a few of the team owners' eyes to go anyway. So you're doing the right things, I think. But what do I know? I'm a commentator.
Well, he's been around here longer than me.
Unfortunately, I've been around longer than most. I think there's only a few that's been around longer than me, which makes me sound really old. Mr. Tazo, are you back at all?
I think he's still eating his Chinese.
Kind of. Look at WhatsApp. I have a baby lying on me.
Oh, okay.
So I can ask questions, but I may have to immediately just stop.
Okay, have you got any questions for the F4 race order?
Yes. I mean, I have to start with my usual F4 question. Frosted, why are you a dick?
Well, I'm a dick because I know Chips and Davey.
That's also true. You have a pass on that. You talk about having a potential drive for next season. Where do you envision yourself being next season? Do you think you're still going to be in F4? Do you think you've got the pace to be in F3 and competing in F3? Because from what I've sort of seen this season, I think there's ability there anyway.
I would like to think that I've got the ability and pace to move on up. You've always had the underlying pace, it's just trying to work on the consistency. And the last couple of races, that's come through. So I'm hoping I can boost myself and move on up. It would be really nice.
I'm really concerned whenever Taz stays silent for a long period of time. I don't know if he is going to ask another question or if he's done. But I guess what I suppose you've got enough knowledge maybe now. You've been here 8 weeks. Who do you think's going to take victory at Canada?
Canada's a bit of an iffy track. As Tazo was in the F4 chat, he for knows that everyone's going to be like and ahhing about it, and kind of like going, okay, not looking forward to this one. This is going to be a bad show. I've got a feeling that it's probably going to be Dave, F1XL Dave. He's going to be right up there. He has got the pace within him. I know that Chips isn't really looking forward to Canada. A few other people aren't as well. So I think it's going to either be Dave or it's going to be someone new.
I heard Taz's mic come back on, so I'm guessing he's back again. Taz, have you got?
Yeah, sorry, I was taking back my duck. I thought we were just going to start speaking to Frosted again.
Gotta love the duck. Have you, any prediction from you, Taz, for Canada?
You know what? Every time my back of me fucks up, so I'm not going to back Greeners as much as I would like to. I think this weekend we may potentially see Nick get his first win of the season. There's something in the back of my mind which is saying that Nick loves Canada.
Okay.
And I think, I'm sure it might be from our previous game or not, but I remember he loved Canada. So I feel like I'm going to back Nick.
Okay. I'm gonna back Slow Dog for this one. So
Mr. Consistent.
Yes, Mr. Consistent indeed. So I'm gonna back Mr. Slow Dog for it. Taz, have you got any final questions or words for Frosted?
No. You know what? I've been listening. I think you've covered most of what I was going to ask, and I think Thank you for coming on, Frosted. That's what we'll say, because as Gareth said earlier on, you know, a lot of people sort of, they're not wary as such, but they just sort of don't really bother coming on, and this helps us make the site better as well. You know, the more viewers and the more people who come on, it gives us sort of better revenue as well. So always pleasure to have people on, and as you also said, put yourself in the shop window, because next season I think there'll be a few people sniffing around you.
Oh, I do hope I got some offers. I don't want to be press.
Oh yes, that is exactly what we want on this show. That kind of witty remark. before you go anywhere, I do want to know the story about your snowman. How is it a long story, or is it?
It's not a massive story. Basically, it was this time of year that everyone starts singing a certain Christmas song to me, and Snowman is kind of what's been assigned to me. So I thought an evil snowman to go with the gamer tag was quite fitting.
Yeah, I like that. No, that is good. I like that. I like that indeed. Anyway, thank you very much for coming on to the show, Foster. Have you got any final words for everyone out there before we let you depart and probably get some dinner?
Nothing really majorly, but anyone who's got to drive, hello, I'm here. So yeah, thank you very much for having me, and thank you very much for everything.
No worries, Frosted. Well, good luck for the rest of the season. Good luck for Canada, and I'm sure we will see you very soon.
Hopefully. Bye.
See ya. Right, Mr. Tazo, have we got anything else to do before we finish the show?
I think just our closing plugs, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I think I've done most of the plugs today as well. So, yeah, I've done myself. Oh, yeah. We'll be back Sunday for the Canadian Grand Prix, the Robin Shabotsky Grand Prix, if you're a fan of How I Met Your Mother, for the, what is it, round 19 of season 16. And it will be, well, I say we, me and Ollie will be commentating on the F1 side of things. We will have, hopefully, Whatwire doing F2 on the Flat Out Racing Network Twitch channel. And then we got Swayze doing the F4 side of things as well. Now, Mr. Tazo, it's been a fun show. That game was pretty good. So if you do want to have anything involved, I'm not sure how Taz is accepting applications or bribes for coming on, but go speak to Mr. Tazo about that one. And until,
message me and let's do it.
And until next Wednesday, we will be back for Wednesday show. I'm not sure how it will all go down, but we will go down. And obviously it'll be the Christmas extra show. And maybe I can get some just Christmassy music to go in the background as well. But thank you very much for watching. It has been much appreciated. We will see you in the next one. And for now, goodbye.